This is Sharon from A Fit Life Center. Welcome back to my channel and thank you for your patience. I know we haven't been together in a couple of weeks, but I was really under the weather and then recovering. So I pulled something in my shoulder because I had been lifting weights and I pulled it. It's better, but I had lost some range of motion and it was painful. So I wound up getting 2 shots in the derriere, the hip area for the shoulder. That steroid shot, that crap hurts. That's all I gotta say about that. So that's getting better. And then I was having some other insomnia, blah, blah, blah issues. Can I just say, listen, I've been talking about aging, right? And I've decided that part of this channel is me being transparent about all the things that we have to adjust to in order to create a life that's fit for us, right? Before I get into it, let me just tell people who I am in case you're new to this channel. And we got some new subscribers, so hey, hello, how you doing? Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel, right? All right, so let's get into it. I am a licensed clinical social worker. I have been helping people manage symptoms like anxiety, depression, trauma for years. But I am also very much interested in wellness, right? Because it occurs to me that we have gotten used to managing problems, but we are not used to living well and expecting wellness as our birthright. So I've decided to teach skills, talk about the realness of life to help you begin, continue, or create a life that's fit for you. And I tell you every time you join this channel, how do you know? Because when you're creating a life that's fit for you, it requires you to take a journey of exploration to find out what works for you and maybe some things that you have to let go. And so that's why I'm going to be talking about a couple things today. First part is aging, right? I'm aging like fine wine. But just like getting a good fine wine, there's a process. And one of them I'm finding I'm struggling with is sleep. I am having a hard time with consistent sleep, right? I don't have a problem falling asleep, but I have trouble staying asleep. I'll wake up 2 or 3 times in the middle of the night. And then in the morning, my usual routine is to get up at least by 6 o'clock, right? I find that I am really tired to start the day. So I have been making some adjustments to help me manage that. And I just decided I'm going to find a specialist, right? A woman specialist that helps with hormonal changes and things like that. Because it has to be a way. There has to be somebody who knows about this. If you're in the Arizona area and you know somebody that is specialized in women's issue and hormonal issues, please leave a note for me in the comments. DM me on Instagram at A Fit Life Center, right? Because I really am going to explore this. And if I find out some good information, I will share it with you. So that's been one thing. The other thing is, and this I'm really nervous about, but mostly excited. So in the month of January, I'm going to be going on a yoga retreat and taking some downtime to rest and explore. And there are parts of it that I am going to probably take you with me so you can see. The reason I've been to a lot of yoga retreats, so that part isn't new. But the part that's new is I am going to be gone for about a month, right? It's a sabbatical for me. So I'm going to be traveling, moving around a bit, resting a lot, And I will be doing some work while I'm there, but it's going to be the latter part of my trip is where I'm going to be working. The first 2 weeks are going to be more connected to the yoga retreat and rest. I wanted to talk about it because I wanted to talk about the things that I've been finding that are coming up for me. And does this come up for you when you are taking on a new part of your life, the next piece of your journey? One of the things that I've been noticing that comes up for me a lot is feeling like I don't know what I'm doing, right? Man, you all know I travel a lot, right? I love travel, but this is the first time it's like a little bit of an extended travel, right? So I've been thinking, oh my God, what do I pack? Don't pack. How do I make sure that the places that I'm booking, you know, are what I like and I feel safe in those places? What if I don't like it? Oh my God, this might be too hard. It may not be, I might be disappointed, and it may not be, it may not live up to my expectations, right? And I'm not really talking about the yoga retreat. I'm talking about this yearning I've had to travel extensively without coming back in a week or 2 weeks, right? To just be gone for at least 30 days. I could even extend it if I want to because of my work that I do, right? I set my life up as to work remotely so that I could have this opportunity. And now everything is in place for me to do it, and there's nothing left for me to do but do it, right? And so all of a sudden, when the reservations were booked, the airline travel was booked, I talked to some great YouTubers like Zoe Smith on the Exodus Collective, who gave me some advice about, you know, travel, places to think about going and how to do it, all those kinds of things. I was like, whoa, this is actually happening, right? And so that little hesitation and little nervousness showed up, right? But I'm committed. I'm committed to take this ride, right? And I'm going to have to learn how to manage whatever shows up, right? It could be emotionally, right? Physically, because I'm having some issues with sleep, all of it, right? And I'm going to take you guys on the journey with me, because I feel like there's no sense in talking about creating a life that's fit for you if you don't talk about all of it, right? If I'm talking about a life that's fit for me and I'm not talking about the fact that sometimes I struggle with sleep, it's some BS and I'm not into it, right? If I'm talking about creating a life that's fit for me and my life that's continuing to transition through aging, through marriage, through kids, through all of that, if I'm not talking about that, I'm just presenting you with a pretty picture. I'm not into that either, right? You have enough things on YouTube if you want it that's a pretty picture. What I want to help you do is for real, figure out how to create a life that's fit for you, right? One of my goals in 2023 is to travel extensively so that when we retire, which I'm hoping is coming up in at least 2024, at least a partial type of retirement situation, right? Especially for my husband, who's been working really hard forever, right? I don't know if he's ready to retire, but I'm going to set the stage so that he can, right? So what I want to do is I want to be able to be out of the country. And I don't know where that means. I don't know if we're going to be completely residential somewhere, or it's going to be like at least 6 months somewhere. I live in Arizona. I see snowbirds do it all the time, so I know it's possible, right? They are 6 months here in Arizona and then they go home for 6 months, right? I want to at least by 2024 to be in some other country for 6 months out of the year so that we can know if we really like it. And if we want to stay longer, we can stay longer, right? If we're like, we don't like it, we give it the deuces, we're out, right? That's the life I am speaking into existence. I saw a young woman, I think it was called Upgraded or something, on Rashida Dow's channel, how she talks about manifesting and speaking into existence the life that she wants. I'm with that. I am with that 100%, right? I have spoken this moment into existence, right? And I did the groundwork as well, right? By making sure I had some money in the bank so I could travel, by moving my work from working for an agency who wanted to tell me when and where I could take my vacations, to now I work for myself so I can take my vacation when I want to. Because I used to have a job where we had to give them 45 days notice to take some vacation time. And when I questioned that, they told me I should be grateful that it wasn't 60 days. Should I? Am I? I am not. So, slowly I have worked toward this moment. And I'm going to do it, right? I'm going to do it even if I feel fear, which I do sometimes feel a little fear, but I'm going to do it. And I think I'm going to love it. I'm going to put that, I got a feeling. I've always had this feeling, this yearning that is what I was born to do, to be free, to just move around the world, right? And every time I have been on vacation and I've gone somewhere, I always feel like my highest, best self. So I'm following the breadcrumbs of what feels good and right for me. And I want you to do the same thing for you. That's all I came on here to say. Aging is a beautiful thing, and it's a transition, right? It is a transition. Creating a life that's fit for you. It is a beautiful thing, and it is a transition, right? And it's not just, right, the videos we see sometimes, right, where people are just waking up in this beautiful place and like looking like they don't have a care in the world. I mean, I hope what they're showing is true, but I don't know that to be true because I haven't experienced that for myself. What I've experienced for myself is when I did the work on the backside, the opportunity showed up. And then I had to be ready and equipped to step into that next piece of my life, right? And not expect it to be perfect, because there is no perfect. It is just having enough coping strategies and being flexible enough to roll with whatever shows up. That's what I've learned. Example, I went to India. We went to see the Taj Mahal, me and a friend that was with me. We went to see the Taj Mahal and all of this. And we wound up in one of the scariest, jankiest hotels I'd ever seen in my life. Their standard of hotel and our standard of hotel, totally different, right? And I am not bashing India, but I am low-key bashing that hotel just for this reason. It was very patriarchal, right? Run by men, and it's a patriarchal place to be, right? And so when we complained that the room was not clean by any stretch of the imagination, and we did it in the most kind way possible, that it just wasn't going to work for us, they became really hostile. Nobody would help us get a cab. It was rough. I remember just being like almost to tears, stressed out, right? But I never quit, right? If I have my cell phone, I'm gonna figure something out. So I got on my cell phone and I found a Holiday Inn that wasn't too far from us. I booked the Holiday Inn on my phone. And then me and my friend just started walking, and it's dark, right? We were walking the street in India trying to flag down a cab. A cab finally stopped for us. I don't think it is traditional for women, especially women of color, to be walking the street at night. So a lot of cabs wouldn't stop. We finally flagged down a cab. We got in the cab. Cab took us to the Holiday Inn. We had a beautiful meal and a nice night's sleep. And all was well with the world. But flexibility, that trip taught me something, that if you're going to travel, you have to be open to what happens, and you have to have a credit card that you can book something, right? And you have to be willing to change if it's not working for you. That's how you create a life that's fit for yourself. So stay tuned. I will be posting when I can, and there will probably be times when I'm not posting because I'm really going to give myself the opportunity to take rest. See you later.